We recently completed 10 extraordinarily hard games, and now it's time to go back and see how hard they really were. A few things before we get started. I have beaten all 10 of these games, and the ordering here will be based purely on my personal experiences playing through them. We'll start with the easiest game and work our way up to the hardest. All of the games were beaten during live streams, mostly on Twitch. Here we go! That's right. Despite this game's legendary reputation for being one of the hardest games on the NES, I gotta say, it's not really that bad. The game is unforgiving. One shot and you die. Touch the wall and you die. Hit the pumpkin, you die. Die, 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 die. Win. The reason this game ends up not being all that bad is because it is very generous with power-ups. When Silver Surfer is fully powered up, he destroys everything in his path. Stack up on firepower and you'll do great things. And try not to touch the wall, floor, or ceiling. Dude, I'm still so happy this game exists. Starship HECTOR is a fairly standard shoot-'em-up starring some dude named Hector who is trying to save the world or something. It features 6 stages of intense difficulty where one wrong move will drop your ass. There is a health bar, which to be fair is actually useful a lot of the time. However, the reason this game is so damn hard is because certain enemies drain your entire life bar in one hit. One hit. Every level has at least one kamikaze bastard whose single goal in life is to crash his ship into you and kill you instantly. One of my favorite things about this game is that there are hidden bonuses buried in the ground, and throughout the course of the game you can get each letter that spell out the word Hector. Get them all and you get a 1,000,000 point bonus, which is an instant extra life. Other than that, the game has no power-ups. There are these weird things you can shoot in each stage to get some life back, and they often become the angel of mercy in your desperate time of need. One major annoyance is that the game forces you to mash the buttons constantly, so like Silver Surfer, you need a turbo button more than anything. Starship HECTOR is extremely tough and can be frustrating, especially when you play on point through most of a stage and then get killed instantly by one guy. But it's still fun. Great music, cool boss fights, just a little too unforgiving sometimes. And button mashing sucks. Starring the ultimate sexy beast, Ryu, Hayabusa, Ninja Gaiden 3 improves on the original game in a lot of ways and also features a variety of cool moves and a very useful sword upgrade. This game features 7 acts compared to the original 6, and the 7th act in this game is where the shit really hits the fan. The final act is a gauntlet of pain with the most unforgiving sections in the entire game. One of the hardest parts in the game is this awkward jump here where one tiny mistake sends you plummeting to your death. Fuck. Shit. Balls. Damn it. The home stretch requires damn near perfection as every hit you take in the last 4 rooms means less health for the final boss. Or should I say, 3 final bosses. The reason this game doesn't hit difficulty of legendary proportions is because you can exploit a ton of 1-ups so that you never game over. Another neat trick is that if you beat one of the final bosses, you never have to fight that one again, so long as you don't run out of continues. So with a little bit of patience and getting this one jump down, you should be just fine. Another legendary NES game, Ghosts and Goblins is notorious for being an insanely hard, unforgiving nightmare. It also has a famously known troll ending where if you beat the game once, the game basically laughs at you and tells you to play the game again, get the true ending. You loser. What the hell is that? What a cruel joke. The second playthrough isn't a whole lot different. I think some enemies or projectiles may move faster. As for the game itself, certain areas are ridiculously hard and annoying, like this section here where these dick goblins block the ladders. Or the stage with 1,000,000 gargoyles and a glitch that literally kills you for no reason. But once you get the hang of the game, it's manageable. And the game has infinite continues, so you never have to worry about starting the entire game over. And the last boss is easy as shit. Now here is a game that was greatly misrepresented in my first video. I played the game on normal mode, which ended up being a cakewalk. When I turned on hard mode, I nearly crapped myself when I found out that I was playing a completely different game. Not only do enemy projectiles come at you way faster, the behavior of many enemies in the game completely changes. Take this asshole in level 2 who won't even show himself unless you turn your back to him. If you play this game on hard mode, get ready to rage as you die, and die again. Bosses have way more hits, there's a secret final boss, and the final boss is outrageously hard and takes a million hits to kill. The only way I was able to beat this game was by discovering an exploit where I was able to farm a ton of lives on the final boss. Thank God for cheese. Also, what the hell is up with this stage where everything spins? I'm gonna throw up. Something about this game is so damn nostalgic. The music, the graphics, the characters. So why the hell does it suck so bad? TMNT starts off mostly harmless. Stage 1 isn't even worth talking about, and Stage 2, the dam, is the level everybody always thinks of when we talk about this game. But the truth of it is that the dam really isn't even that hard. It takes a few tries to get down, but I think most people could get by after figuring it out. Stage 3 is where shit really starts to stink. The level's a huge maze, and unless you know what to do, you're gonna spend hours going through every building and sewer looking for the way out. But Stage 4 is where the game really starts to get hard. So many enemies, spike traps, things that shoot laser beams, and then this ridiculous Indiana Jones booby trap. But nothing compares to Stage 5. The enemies in the cave are beyond absurd. They deal so much damage, take so many hits to kill. You're better off just trying to avoid them. The Technodrome is the unholy gauntlet of suffering as you limp your way through getting destroyed by everything, including these impossible guys with jetpacks who shoot lasers. The final hallway to Shredder has so many of these guys, and you're lucky to see halfway through this room before gaming over. Now let's backtrack. The reason this game isn't number 1 on the list is because of an item called the Scroll. The Scroll is this super overpowered wave move that obliterates mostly anything in your path, including bosses like the Technodrome. It also makes the jetpack laser guy hallway infinitely easier. You can farm scrolls in Stage 3, which is the only way you're beating this game unless you're a god at it. But fuck that, I say get the scrolls, kill everything, and make Shredder your bitch. Alright, so this game surprised me. This is a sequel to Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, and I was expecting the worst when going into it. But to my surprise, this game is actually quite good. Unlike the original, this game has power-ups. That's right, find an armor upgrade when you're at full health and Arthur's armor will be upgraded, along with his attack. Each weapon has its own special move, which is extremely refreshing. The armor is a bit easier to find, unlike Ghosts and Goblins where armor upgrades were very cryptically hidden from the player. Almost like a dev star in Mario Maker. Super Ghouls and Ghosts actually rewards its players for playing well and not getting hit. The graphics are great, the boss fights are cool, and you can skip the stupid map screen that appears in between deaths. But do not be fooled, while this game is good, it becomes an absolute nightmare toward the end of the game. Like its predecessor, Super Ghouls and Ghosts requires the player to beat the game twice before the credits roll, and the second time is brutal. On the last level, you have to get through the entire stage without getting hit to find a bracelet, a secret weapon that's only available in the second playthrough. Then you have to defeat all 3 of the final bosses with it. This weapon is a pain in the ass to use because it requires you to carefully dodge crotch fire and eye lasers while taking as many pot shots as you can. Fuck. If you manage to defeat both forms of him, you fight one more final boss. Luckily, this guy isn't too hard if you're careful. Beating this game is so satisfying. And who does this guy look like? I am not sure where to begin with this one. Yeah, that about sums it up. Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back is a game that had so much potential, but blew it and ended up being one of the most frustrating games ever made. But first, the good stuff. The game has weapon upgrades, cool power-ups, crazy boss fights, and an awesome password system. You can even play as a variety of characters. So why does it suck? Enemy spam, troll traps, respawning enemies like Ninja Gaiden, bosses that take up the entire screen, horrible flying stages, levels that never end, invisible power-ups, And what the hell is this? Why does my ship take up half of the screen? One of the biggest problems with this game is how unforgiving it is to get through these waves of endless enemies. You usually want to be using the gun instead of the lightsaber, but the first level of the gun sucks. So you need to find some gun upgrades. But where are the gun upgrades? For some reason, the game decided to hide everything from the player, and in order to find a power-up, you have to either physically touch the area the power-up is in, or shoot your gun at it. So this means finding power-ups in this game is a painfully tedious chore of touching every pixel of every crevice that you find, begging the game to give you anything that might help. And when you die, you lose it all. Another thing that makes this game suck so hard is that the levels are ridiculously long and look exactly the same the entire way through. It looks like they just copy and pasted the first 5 minutes of the stage 10 more times to make an excruciatingly long mess of a level that feels like an eternity. And this last gripe may come down to personal preference, but the graphics in this game are ugly as hell. SNES games were known for their charm. So many games back then had amazing graphics for the time with very charming sprites and backgrounds. But with Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, we get this. This game sucks. Seriously, this game sucks. Once you figure out how to deal with enemies, it doesn't seem too bad. It's really annoying how one death equals game over. Go back to the beginning. But it still seems manageable. At first. There actually are many great things about this game. To be fair, it is a Double Dragon game. Graphics, the music, the special weapons, and the super satisfying move where you kick people's faces in. But the bad far outweighs the good. Aside from one death game overs, there's not a single health drop in this entire game. You have to complete each stage with the health you're given at the start. Once you beat stage 2 and then stage 3, you actually get extra characters, which is finally like getting an extra life. But if you let a character die, they stay dead on the next stage, so you gotta switch characters whenever one gets low. At least the game has the courtesy to heal you after beating a level, assuming you didn't let the character die. Let me tell you one reason why this game sucks so bad. It's because of the final level. The game suddenly introduces pits that instantly kill you, unlike other games like Zelda: A Link to the Past, where falling into a pit only takes one heart and puts you back where you fell. Not only that, but these guys gang up on you and ravage you in the corner right when the level starts. You don't even get a chance to figure out what you're supposed to do. The spike room is a complete nightmare, where you get knocked all over the place and into the spikes. If you manage to get past this, you face 2 rooms of endless enemies where you hope to take as little damage as possible so you actually have a chance at the final boss. And then there's the final boss. First, you fight 3 mummies, which aren't too bad if you spam the ninja's jump move. But then this evil witch lady appears, and goddamn is she hard. She takes a million hits to kill. It can fuck you up with fireballs, magic spells, send you flying into the wall, and the game can even glitch out and soft lock you. Yes, it's true, my character disappeared inside of a wall, and that was it. The game was over. If you have the patience to play through this game until you're good enough at stage 5 to squeak out a win, well, congratulations. You just wasted your time. And here it is, folks, the granddaddy of extraordinarily hard-ass games. Living up to its reputation and earning the #1 spot on this list, Battletoads is an insanely hard, unforgiving beast of a game. This game has 12 levels, which is a lot for NES standards, especially a game this hard. It has limited continues, no password system, and so much trial and error that'll make you want to punch yourself in the face. Or maybe this guy. This game does feature warps, which you can use to skip some levels. Although if you plan to take this game down, I recommend beating each stage at least once, just to prove to yourself that you can do it. You've come this far. Just like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, everybody talks about one stage. In this case, it's the Turbo Tunnel, which to be fair is tough at first, but once you figure it out, it's not too bad, and it is not even remotely close to as hard as the later stages in the game. This game does have a health bar, but it's one of those why even bother having a health bar games. If you're lucky, something will only take half of your health when it hits you, but most of your deaths are instant, as nearly goddamn everything will kill you in one hit, even the fart gas. Seriously, why one hit? There are several bosses in this game that are just outrageously hard. Take this guy who kills you in one hit no matter what, whether it's with his gun or by stomping on your face. The rat race level is notorious for being hard, but this game was at least kind enough that it makes your Toad run automatically during the race, making it substantially easier. God damn is it stressful though. This water level is one of the worst stages in the game. It's so long, everything kills you, and these sections where you're being chased down are the definition of trial and error. If you play this game, prepare to rage quit in this one. The last stage is the worst of all. You have to be so careful with these enemies as they can get cheap hits off on you easily, and these red monsters will eat you and kill you in one hit. You keep climbing up and up and up until you fall down and die. And this is one of those games where the screen scrolls up and the floor goes away. If you fall back down, you die. Even though you know the floor is right there. What a bunch of bullshit. If you manage to get through this level, congratulations. The final boss is pretty easy, and as long as you play it safe and have a few extra lives, you should be able to kill her. And if you do, congrats, you've beaten Battletoads and proven your nerdiness. And that's it, folks. That's all she wrote. 10 weeks, 10 hard-ass games. I need a break. Seriously though, I had so much fun with this series. And this video, looking back on everything, was my favorite part about it. Shoutouts to you for watching the videos, everybody who watched during the live streams and cheered me on to victory, and of course the developers for making these shitty hard games. I do feel like the bar has been set pretty high for the first season of Extraordinarily Hard Games. I'd like to continue the series, but I'll need help from all of you. Let me know what you want to see, whether it be games you want me to play or different ways to format or present the series. Many people have mentioned that it makes them sad that they can't catch the live streams and don't get to see the conclusion of these games, which is understandable. Since these games are so hard, finishing the game live works out best. I can't imagine spending 8 hours trying to beat Double Dragon 3 by myself without the company of the beautiful people in the live streams to get me through it. For your convenience, when I do beat the games, I will try to go and put it in the description of the video so that you can go watch it later if you want to. But that's enough from me for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.